Hey, welcome to New Jump City, everybody, where we recap the week in American and Japanese sequential art. I am your host, Christian, the unbiased king. Espinal, and joining me through StreamYards, it is my co-host, my partner in crime, is Joshua Gangsta Time Cole.
Well, it's called partner, but it should be called Gangsta Time.
What up, Chris? What's good, everybody listening?
Hello. Also joining us is our producer, edgelord Big News, Brian.
Nantoyu big news!
Sup, nerds?
Hey, we're back after a 2-week hiatus and a D&D game. We are back and better than ever. Very excited to get into the show. How are you guys doing today?
Chilling, vibing, accent, relaxing.
Feeling good.
Yeah, same.
Nixon
Pretty normal
5.
day. Nixon 5.
That's why I say to people when I leave, you know, it's like kind of may the Lord be with you. I go Nixon 5.
Yeah.
I used to go Nixon 4, but we can't have nice things, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose. It's okay.
But I'll take
it's
Nixon 5
until it's not. And then it'll be Nixon 6.
Yeah, Nixon 6. Nixon 6
but
rhymes.
We're not even going to go there.
No, because it'll be Nixon 5.
It's fine too, though.
It'll be Nixon 5. How are you, Josh? How's your One Piece journey? I see you're in Marineford.
Yeah, I've been waiting to talk about it. So I've made progress. I have fully read through Amazon Lily, Impel Down, and the Paramount War, and the Luffy flashback arc.
Damn, you were going crazy.
In Dandadan Village? No, not Dandadan. That's the name of the person.
Don't make me quiz you.
Goa Village?
Nope.
Goa Kingdom.
Yes.
Yeah, Goa Kingdom.
Yeah.
Yes. And Luffy's from Windmill Town, but they was like in the mountains.
Windmill what?
Windmill Village.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
And Luffy and Ace lived in the mountains with the bandits. Right. One of them being Dadan, the head one.
Yep.
Right.
What's Dadan's family name?
Excuse me?
What's Dadan's family name?
I don't understand what you're saying.
Like
but
her
I'm
last
just gonna
name.
Keep going with my
What's her last name?
I don't understand what you're saying at all.
You don't?
But I think no, it's like you're speaking Chinese. But I'm just gonna move forward with the
I'm quizzing you, bro. You said to quiz you.
About. I don't know about that one.
You want me to tell you?
I don't know it, bro.
Didn't he tell us?
I told you. I asked you this question before.
Oh my god!
I told you this question before you got there.
What does it start with?
See.
What does it start with?
I'll tell you.
I don't know.
You want me to tell you?
I don't know.
It's Curly. Curly Dadan.
It hurts.
Go on.
Is that what you wanted?
You're the one who told me to quiz you on things.
You're right, but that was damn it, man. Can you give me something else?
That should have been easy. You just read it.
Jesus. All right, but like I don't pay attention to that kind of shit.
To names of characters?
I knew who the Don was. Right?
You gotta do better.
Yeah, man. So you got me. All right, you got me. That was I forgot. I should have known that one too. That was sad.
I can't believe you didn't send me the panel.
Others
I can't believe you didn't send me the panel
of
I can't believe you didn't send me the panel of Luffy lying and whistling. I don't know.
I did. I definitely took a picture of that.
I think you only sent us Marineford.
Oh no, I'm not there yet. Yeah. I'm not at yeah, that shit was so funny when he was lying to They were the blue shit.
You're
blue
there,
bucket
buddy.
pirates.
No, you're
Fuck.
close. You're close, bro.
Blue belly pirates.
No.
Oh my god. Blue chip. Bluetooth.
Bluetooth.
Fuck. Oh.
The Bluetooth pirates.
Oh, Captain Bluetooth. Shit. Well,
Bluetooth.
whatever. Funny thing is, he didn't just lie to him. He lied to the other dude whose name I don't remember. The first guy who got killed by the pirate captain.
Mm-hmm.
Man, a lot of shit went down. They tried to burn the fucking island. One Piece was always political.
Always.
That's not a hot take at all. But man, was Oda trying to smack you on the head in that arc.
Oda's pretty heavy-handed when he wants to be political. It's kind of hard to miss the message. He's very overt.
Yeah.
So you want me to tell you who the captain was?
Sure.
Captain Blue Jam.
I wouldn't know. I would never remember that.
But yeah,
it doesn't sting as much. I know as soon as you said Blue Jam, I was like, bet. But Jam was not any of the word. Like, definitely after Blue is not what I was thinking about, even close. Yeah, but they was assholes. They was all about to die, and he was like, well, just tell me where the treasure's at anyway, so I can just die with the treasure. Fucking weirdo.
He's about his money, man. I get it.
Yeah, but Ace and Dandadan stood their ground. She was lit. Sabo got smoked, but not really. So I'm guessing Sabo ended up on the ship with the revolutionaries. It was implied. Although nothing
confirmed.
was said. It actually wasn't
At the
implied,
time, no.
But
At the time, no, but it is confirmed later.
Yeah. But it was placed there to let you know, like, yeah. These guys was here at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Dressrosa is only a couple arcs after this situation anyway, technically, right? Fishman.
Yeah.
Punk Hazard.
And then, then it's Dressrosa, yes. But Dressrosa and...
lots.
But Fishman Island and Punk Hazard together are pretty long. I think I think Dressrosa starts around the 700s.
Damn.
Maybe ends towards the end of the 600s. Now that I think about it, I guess Fishman Island and Dressrosa and Punk Hazard are two short arcs sandwiched together.
True that. I mean, what is there to say about the Paramount War? It was just incredible execution. Like, man, the Sasuke retrieval arc was awesome, but I need to go to the anime and watch the Paramount War. I need to. I should probably go back and watch Impel. I should watch Impel Down to the Paramount War.
Yeah.
Well, like the anime. I know it's going to be a show. I know it's going to be a fucking movie.
I'll tell you this. I'm watching the anime, actually. I'm watching the anime, and I'm at Skypiea now. Here and there, I'm not like... I casually watch it just because I like watching it. It's been a while since I watched the anime all the way through. This may be my second watch through of the whole anime. I am skipping fillers, and I am skipping any non-canonical material. But I am casually rewatching it. What's this? What's this look?
No, it's just, just back to the old well. It's funny because...
What do you mean?
And I was like, damn, am I going to tempt Chris to reread One Piece?
Honestly, you have been.
Whenever you send me care packages.
Yeah, he sends me whole pages of stuff, and I was like, damn. Should I reread it? I honestly think he was like, should I reread it again? But I won't reread it. I'm casually watching the anime.
Not yet. Maybe... Yeah, exactly. But that's why I feel like it's sparking the interest in the anime at least.
But you know the
One Piece
best.
is such a rat. I mean, I can go. I can.
I know we're in a time of
Huh?
just One Piece crushing it in the animation department and being like having a lot of effort put to it in the animation department. But I will say it is best absorbed through the manga. It's the easiest way to get into the story. It's the best way. You get all canonical, you know, all canonical, no filler.
It's very nice.
It's very good. It's theoretically faster, you know, no matter what.
Yeah,
If you're
so what about you guys? I don't.
I've been reading Inuyasha, but I'm not done with it yet, so I can't give any thoughts.
I am continuing my journey on reading every Jump series that's currently circulating in Jump. We lost one recently. Asteroid Royale was canceled. So, but we did gain 2 new series in the interim. So I have to read those, to be honest. So I could just like have those on my list. I am reading Witch Watch and Akane Banashi still. Those are the 2 longer series currently circulating, both at, I think, almost clocking in at 200. And I'm about halfway through both of them. I'm like nearing the 100 chapters of both of them. And Witch Watch has been fun. It's mostly a gag series still, actually. I sent these guys a couple pages of one of the chapters where most of the cast becomes like Minecraft characters for no reason. But yeah, it is still mostly a gag series still in its run. And I'm enjoying it, you know. Gag series are tough for me because I'm an American, and I think I mentioned this before, but Witch Watch does a lot of referential humor to Japanese culture that I'm not very privy to. So even in the margins of the panels, the gutters of the panels, they still have to explain a couple things just to make sure that the joke, like I can understand at least the context. But Witch Watch is an enjoyable series. I like it, and the art is so good. I think the art is pretty well put together, and the character designs are fun. Akane Banashi, I'm still waiting to get into my next round of that, but that series is very good as well. I recommend it. I recommend both, but Akane Banashi is a little bit more accessible because even though it is still like a very culture centric series, it's accessible enough, and they explain a lot of like what goes on with the art form that it's really interesting to read. I do love how they display the stories too. I think I've mentioned this before. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but the way they actually like portray the performances in Akane Banashi is that there's the regular style of the author as they're telling the story, and then they just draw out the story in like this traditional Japanese ink style. And I think it's pretty neat. But yeah, that's where I'm at with both of those. Good series, both of them. Enjoying them both.
Yeah. I'm gonna look into Akane Banashi at some point, because every time you have like these pet series that you really focus in on, whenever I read them, they're always really good. So
Yeah.
I did I read a little bit of it.
Yeah, it's a nice series. It's
But
just
I
a
gotta
good series
commit.
to casually read. I'm still caught up on. I'm still keeping up with Blue Box as well, and I'm also keeping up with Ichi the Witch. Both series are in an interesting spot right now. Ichi the Witch is in the middle of an arc. Blue Box is also in the middle of like this little tiny arc as well. It's nice. Blue Box is a nice little palate cleanser from all the battle series that I read. Even Akane Banashi is kind of a battle series in a sense, so it's nice to get a little reprieve. But that's all I got to say about the series that I've been keeping up with. My quest to read every single Jump series currently circulating. Are we guys ready to get into it, guys? Are we ready to get into the main show?
Yes, sir.
Hell yeah. Let's go. One Piece. This is One Piece chapter 1148, Ranja. Last we left off with the cover pages of Yamato's pilgrimage. She was just saying what's up to Raizo. And, he was thanking her for stopping Who's Who and his cronies. And we see this title page where Yamato is back on his way to deliver the Amigasa hat from Otama to Kawamatsu. So that'll be fun. And he is taking Ulti and Page One with him. So they have officially joined the Yamato pirates, leaving behind Speed. I think the horse's name is the little smile fruit lady that works with Otama. And
Shmail.
What? Oh, the Shmail. So all is good. Very exciting. And with that, we move on to the main chapter as we see it. Last we left off with One Piece, the Holy Knights have been going crazy. Gunko has captured a good number of the Straw Hats as they are extorting the Giants into destroying the library on Elbaf that contains the writings of the Ohara scholars and all of that. And they are using the lives of the children of Elbaf as bargaining chips to get the Giants to burn down their library, or else, they're the fucking Holy Knights are going to kill their kids. So it's not great. We open this chapter with a girl named Ranja being forced to walk on this arrow-shaped plank, basically, off of Elbaf. And, everybody's like, Ranja, no, where are you going? And Ranja looks back and is like, what's going on? It's weird, huh? Don't worry, I'll be fine. I know it. It's no big deal. And Ranja reaches the very tip of the arrow, and she starts to get scared, which is very sad. These fucking Holy Knights ain't shit. Summers continues his whole diatribe and basically saying that if we don't hear your decision within the next 30 seconds, the first one of your kids gets pushed off. He speaks to Beard Hill Ja Rule specifically, and he says, you need to give the orders to your school teacher. Tell her to light the school and the library on fire. So, damn, crazy. All the Giants are panicking, but Robin cannot contain herself anymore. She is not fucking playing. She tells Chopper to stay hidden within Saul's beard, and I guess she sets out to help everyone. We see that Ripley is on her way with Frankie to help out, but basically he's saying, Summers continues saying that if you do choose to burn down the school and the library, you are forbidden from removing a single book from them. What we want to burn down is your culture and your history. And that's when Robin pulls up, because you don't threaten those things around Nico Robin. And she palms this guy with her Cien Fleurs Crosspedia, knocks Summers off of his thorn thing. And then she combos that by grabbing Summers and breaking his back with Clutch. So not good. Or is it? Because Summers is immortal, and this doesn't really do anything to him. He starts to heal from getting all his bones snapped. And that's when Robin seems to jump onto Summers and pushes him off of the branch, and they both start falling. Summers is like, you got a death wish? I'm down for love, but not a lover's leap. Robin explains that I'm well aware you're immortal and have thorn-based powers, but as long as I remove those invisible thorns, we can save the children. And Summers is like, I see. So you deduced that knocking me down below would pull the kids out of the range of my powers. You're a clever woman. And he starts emitting thorns from his entire body, stabbing up Robin. Except it's a clone. He didn't really stab Robin. Very cool. And Summers continues to fall. The real Robin is still back up on the branch, and she is currently untying the rest of the Straw Hats. Summers manages to latch on to one of the branches with his thorn powers, and he continues his speech to Ja Rule. And he tells Gunko to make sure that he could hear the kid's voice. And Gunko tells Ranja to say something. And Ranja says, Chief Ja Rule, what I want to say is I love the school. It's where my friends are. I love the library too. And you mustn't cause trouble for the other people. You mustn't do things to make them upset. If we lose the library and the school in order to stop me from falling off the branch, that would be really sad and make everyone upset. And she volunteers to just sacrifice herself for the library and the school. And she says, I'm a lucky girl. Everything will turn out fine. As she's clearly terrifying, like crying in tears. And all the while, fucking Summers is counting down. And Ja Rule can't take it anymore. He commands Ange to set fire to the school and to burn down the library. Ange confirms in the affirmative. We see that Summers has made it back onto the branch and it's about to attack Robin, but then one of his arms lops off and it's not healing. And he's like, wait, what's going on? And then he hears from behind him someone saying, been a while, eh? And he's like, Scopper Kaban! And then we see Scopper do a cool samurai cut pose as he seems to cut Summers in a way that he can't heal. And that is where this chapter ends. Wow. Josh, what did you think about One Piece chapter 1148?
About time somebody properly put their hands on one of these people.
For real.
I mean, it's nice. When he screams Scopper Gabon, I needed that. Like, you see that fear in his eyes?
Mm-hmm.
That arm ain't coming back, bro. If he survives this situation, he's down a limb for the rest of his life.
For real.
Do I know that for sure? No. But do I hope that? Yeah.
His bum ass will probably make a thorn hand.
Yeah. Whack shit like that. I mean, BT dubs, Luffy, Zoro, and Sanji are all, away from this situation. I'm sure if they pulled up, they would have. As a matter of fact, he was actually scared of Luffy.
All of them are. They don't want to fight Luffy himself.
Yeah, I think the regenerative powers are like counted by like Conqueror's Haki.
It's possible, yeah.
That's kind of what I'm getting from this situation, which is why he's scared of both of them. Shit, they should be really terrified of Zoro too.
For real. 3 sword style. He has like thunder hockey all over his swords.
Yeah, that shit is crazy. But it was a cool chapter. I like that a stand was finally made, but Oda is, speaking of not being heavy-handed, he's like getting straight to the point about how horrible these people are, and they're not like the celestial dragons we see, who are just like uppity. They know exactly who they are, what they're doing. There's no mistakes about what they believe in. And it's that everybody else is trash and they can do as they please with that trash. And the world is theirs. So, yeah. I think Oda's hammering it down. It was heartbreaking to see Ja Rule say to burn it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said set fire to the school. Yeah, he's crying. Oh, man. That was tough. Even Robin started to cry. Yeah, I don't see Scopper Gabon like solving the situation at all. But he's got to stall for them to get up. I hope Loki comes. I bet Loki could violate these niggas too.
Mm-hmm.
God, I hope he does. The dragon guy needs to get it too, man. He's been acting all chill and relaxed. He hasn't talked much, you know, and he seems all goofy and shit. But fuck that guy, man. He's the one causing the most problems. I don't know. I don't got really anything else to say. Brian, what were your thoughts?
It's nice to see Scopper get into the fucking mix finally.
Yeah, man.
Coming
Yeah,
in
man.
and handling business. I'm sure he'll be able to take out maybe one or two God Knights, just because he's probably had the most experience of everyone fighting them. Just a hunch. But it was really cool to see Robin in action too, doing her thing, being an assassin and shit. But otherwise, I don't really have too many thoughts. I'm ready to see
I have a
like
rebuttal.
Zoro. What?
I'll finish your thoughts, but I have a rebuttal to them already.
I'm so ready to see Zoro and Sanji again though. Like those are my boys. I miss them.
Nice.
But yeah, those are my thoughts.
Okay, so Brian,
sorry. Yeah, go for it.
when do you know who Colin is?
Yeah.
Which is, you know, the giant child, right?
Yes.
When he proclaimed that he was the son of Gaban, was there any part of you that was jealous?
That was what?
Jealous.
No. What?
Not any part of you?
No. What would I be jealous about?
Well, I guess that leads into my follow-up question, which is, was there ever any time that you thought, damn, I wish I was the son of Scapa Gaban?
Not at all. There's not a single moment in my entire life where I was like, man, I wish that was my dad.
Yeah. Okay.
Is that all
Chris,
for your
what were
line
your
of questioning?
Yes.
Well, for the record, I also don't wish Scott Caban was my dad. Just to put it out there.
Yeah, my dad's
I'll
pretty
take
cool.
note of that.
I will say, I do think, man, it was debating really hard, but I think that One Piece is my really good chapter of the week this week.
Certified RGC. Certified RGC. Certified RGC.
I'm just glad things are heating up. You know, we're getting Robin taking some action. It makes sense because Robin really springs in and defends, archaeological things and things having to do with history. It makes total sense, and it's super cool to see her like jump in and not be able to help herself. I really like just when Oda really has a way of just like displaying altruism. This is like just regular people are the ones that make the difference. And, even with the girl like Ranja, who was just like willing to sacrifice herself for the library for the sake of just the people in her village, it is kind of just what I believe Oda believes of people, like this is what he really believes. There's obviously bad people out there and there's institutions that are terrible and oppressive. But at the end of the day, the only thing that can stop this kind of stuff or, like part of the thing that could stop it is just a population that is willing to take the big stand against them. And he has this knack of showing it with people and specifically children who are kind of like this. It's just like an innocence and selflessness that's very powerful. And I really love that about One Piece. And it's cool to see it rewarded with Scopper Gaban coming in and slicing and dicing the bad guy. Sometimes you just need that cool, like, fuck yeah moment in life. And it's just kind of what One Piece is about. Do I think Scopper's going to take down Holy Knights right now? I don't know. I feel like this is just kind of like a checkmate move that is going to stop the Holy Knights from moving, and then maybe we'll get like a big dramatic entrance by Luffy, Loki, and them to really like tell the Holy Knights that they're like, we're not going to fight you right now. You know, I feel like all three of the Holy Knights are going to get away. They're just going to leave because Luffy and Loki will show up and just overwhelm them. But yeah, I thought this was a really good chapter. I really enjoyed it. I hope they don't burn down the fucking library. I hope they get word back to Ange to not do that shit. Bad news though, One Piece is off next week. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna miss you, One Piece. But that's all I gotta say, really. It's a very simple but effective chapter, and I appreciated it.
Characters don't die in One Piece.
Unless you're Ace or Whitebeard, or in a flashback. But yeah, are those all our thoughts on One Piece?
Yes, sir.
A wrong burgundy bet in One Piece would be so dangerous on a death.
Oh yeah,
It's like,
I would never bet on a death.
would you ever claim someone's going to die on a wrong burgundy in One Piece?
Absolutely not.
Never, right?
Too rich for my blood. Can't do it.
That would actually be impossible.
Too rich
to
for
win.
my blood, too.
All right, we ready to move on?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Bloody cross.
Sakamoto Days. This is Sakamoto Days, chapter 212, Shin's mission. Last we left off with Sakamoto Days, a lot of stuff has been going down, specifically with the Order. Shishiba, I think his name is, right? I'm not mistaking that.
Yeah, that's right.
Right. Shishiba has defected from the Order and has taken the Buzzsaw Blade lady. I know I've been Usaragi and the sniper guy whose name I definitely don't remember right now. Have all left the Order and are making their way to oppose X in some way, shape, or form. We don't know if they're actually going to join Team Sakamoto, but they've escaped. And we are cutting back to our heroes at the Sakamoto Days store. Sakamoto is looking on at the damage done to his store. It's been exploded by enemies. And he is just paralyzed with fear after the thought of potentially losing his family. And we get a little flashback to a few moments earlier where Sakamoto is not influenced, but he volunteers to stop the city's citizens from rampaging, helping Team Sakamoto, who's going around town and preventing people from killing each other as best they can. And Sakamoto volunteers to go as well, but everybody's kind of ambivalent to let him go because he may not have it in him right now. And his teacher guy is just like, "You sure you can?" And Sakamoto's like, "Yes, I want to protect the city." So they all go off and they do their thing to peacefully remove the guns from people. They're citizens that all just point their guns at Sakamoto, and before he could move, he gets just like a memory of the store exploding, and he can't move his body. At which point Shin comes in and uses his telepathy to cause everybody to shoot him instead. And they all do that. They all shoot him at the same time, but he uses a manhole to block the guns. So that was pretty cute.
Yeah.
And Shin is even surprised himself. He's like, "Whoa, did I just hijack multiple people's thoughts?" And yeah, so the citizens are neutralized in the moment. Sakamoto is still kind of trembling on the ground, and he's thinking about, he's like, I'm sorry, when I try to fight, my body just shakes and freezes up, and my mind goes totally blank. And yeah, he is super duper traumatized. And Sakamoto is like, I'm wrong. I was wrong. I should never have lost my knack as an assassin. I have to get it back. And that's when Shin breaks in and is like, no, Mr. Sakamoto, you didn't lose anything. You found something even more important. Being afraid to lose people doesn't make you weak. It's the path to making you even stronger. And Shin assures him that he hasn't forgotten the plan to build a chain of Sakamoto stores all over Japan. So Shin is like, leave this part to me. I'll protect everyone until you're ready, Mr.
Nice.
Sakamoto. Very cool moment for Shin. I would like to say so. And we cut over to the Okutabi Science Lab. He goes over to the scientist guy that used to help experiment on him. And he goes to him to ask if he could power up his ESP to a mind-blowing level. And he's like, yeah, can you do that, mister? And the scientist guy explains that when you hack people's thoughts, you're basically sending a specialized electrical signals. Theoretically, if we could pick up your brainwaves precisely and tune it, pick up your brainwaves precisely, tune them, and rebroadcast them to a widespread area. And they're just like, he's like, how fast can we make this happen? He's like, I don't know, maybe 2 or 3 days. And Shin is not happy about that. And he's like, look, I'm a scientist, not an engineer. And that's when we get a familiar face coming in. Kashima pulls up and he's like, I'll help. And,
Yeah.
And
my guy.
yeah, deer head. And he's like, I've been looking for you, guy. And I've been looking for you guys. The scientist is like, who do you think you are, you son of a... And Kashima explains that at that time he had a different sense of justice, and he apologizes. He wants to put an end to the madness because X is abusing his power as an outlet for his personal feelings, and a lot of innocent lives are being sacrificed. That's a far cry from my idea of justice. So, yeah, he joins in the fray, and they get to work on trying to figure out how to do this thing. We then cut over to Shin, who is standing atop a radio tower. And they seem to have figured it out. They wired a bunch of stuff to his brain, and he has like a giant megaphone. And the scientist guy explains that this is going to place a colossal burden on Shin's brain. And Kashima says, like, if you start to feel weird, don't push it. But Shin says, crank it to maximum output. And they do so. And Shin puts the megaphone up to his mouth, and he explains he gives the command to everyone holding a gun right now, point it at the ground and let it rip. And that is where the chapter ends. Will it work? Who knows? But let's see what Josh thinks of Sakamoto Days chapter 212.
I like this chapter a lot. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know. I just wonder about certain things. I'm really glad it was stated that Shen didn't forget that a chain of that they want to build a chain of Sakamotos, because I thought that the author forgot. You know what I mean? But it seems like that might be the overall goal, if not end goal, of the series, like to get to a point where they open these chains.
Mm-hmm.
And in order to do that, they had to, obviously take out the assassin, colonies, and if they're all under X, this kind of streamlines the situation. So it's kind of the same thing. Instead of going to the various JSA headquarters around the world or in Japan or whatever, yeah, they're all in Japan. Then instead of that, it's just all centralized towards X and the people that's working under him. It's cool. Simplifies it, in my opinion. I wonder what these repercussions for Shen are going to be. Is he not going to be able to use his ESP for a little while? What is that going to mean for the story? I mean, it's already been said that he's at his physical limits, so it's not like it's going to be an excuse for him to improve combat-wise without his ESP. I don't know. I thought that was pretty slick to tell everyone to shoot at the floor, but I have a feeling that X is going to have something to say about this. He's going to be like, no, you guys didn't really mean to do that, so I'm going to send you guys some more bullets because that was cheating. That's not that I would do any of this, but if I was in his shoes, that's how I would probably go about it. You know, fuck that.
Yeah, you totally would.
Even if they all really did, even if they all really did, you like do it off their own free will. Like I would still send them all bullets. Be like, look, rules changed again. Now you got a whole clip, and then if you don't shoot somebody, I'm gonna smoke you by the end of the week. Personally, have fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a good plan, Josh.
I don't know how to take that, but
It's a good plan that you personally thought of and would do if this was you.
I mean, it would never be me. I would never go through these lengths.
Of course not.
Not these specific lengths, anyway. I don't care for his goal in mind. He wants assassins. He wants a killer be killed world. Fuck that. I'm good. I want to live in a regular society and shit and buy things I like without being murdered.
Yeah. I too would like to buy things I like.
Or just go do things I enjoy. I don't know why I said buy, but just do things I enjoy without the fear that an assassin will slice my hands off if you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If I did something wrong or if they felt like it. I would have to I don't want to be an assassin. I'm good. Anyway, Brian, what were your thoughts?
I feel like the plan of having everybody shoot the ground is kind of dangerous. Not gonna lie, because like
Ricochets?
yeah, like bullets could like ricochet, like millions of shots ringing out at the same time could really deafen a lot of people too. Yeah, pretty crazy. What about the people who don't? What about the people who have more than 3 bullets in their guns? Like that, just like police officers, or like, are they also gonna shoot into the ground?
We should let it rip. So anybody who has a loaded gun would unleash all their bullets, probably.
Damn, that's gonna be crazy. Some cops are gonna just be unloading into the ground for like 30 seconds.
I think cops in Japan don't have guns.
What, they just have batons?
Yeah, I think like they regularly don't, like in normal situations, cops don't carry guns.
Doesn't the cop from Dandadan have a gun?
That's yeah, I guess so. Let me see. Let me Google that actually, because I feel like I heard that somewhere.
Hey Siri, do Japanese policemen have guns?
Yes, they do. My bad. I guess I misunderstood.
Here's an answer from rebellionresearch.com.
Rebellionresearch.com says Japanese police are discouraged from using their firearm. They cannot carry their firearm when they're off duty, but they do have a gun.
Okay.
Okay.
I guess that's in England then. I guess like the UK doesn't have, because I know there was
Siri.
there is a police force that does not carry guns.
Do UK policemen have guns?
Here's an answer from Wikipedia.
The majority of police officers do not routinely carry firearms. Routinely, they say.
That's the routine. That's basically everyday cops don't have guns.
They have sword fights in the UK.
Bankai!
Yeah, to show up to like when there's a robbery at a bank, they show up with a bankai.
Stop right there.
Yeah.
No shoplifting.
The knife work is crazy.
Were those all your thoughts on Sakamoto Days, by the way, Brian?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, I like this chapter a lot. I thought this was a cool moment for Shin. I didn't think of this as a possibility, so I thought it was really clever. Clever use of Shin's powers. So I hope it works. It would be nice. I feel like it's not going to work for the whole of Japan, but I feel like their town is probably it'll work for their town, and that's about it. At best, if anything. But I thought this was a smart plan, and I'm glad it came from Shin, considering that, like, you know, this is just a continuation of his character development from the prison arc. Good shit.
Hey, I have a question for Brian. Do you think Shin would play tank well? I mean, look at this situation. He pulled up on his teammate Sakamoto and attracted attention. He got the other team to aggro him, and then he absorbed the damage with the shield.
Yeah. Sakamoto got stunned by the thing, and then Captain America came around and blocked all the damage.
Is Captain America tank in Marvel Rivals?
Yeah, he's a tank.
Yeah.
And one might say that he's the
dive
greatest tank.
He what?
Yeah, he's a dive tank specifically.
What's a
One might
dive
say
tank?
that he's probably the coolest guy who's ever existed.
I would not say that.
Studies show.
One might say that. One might say that there is no other character in the game that can match up to the GOAT status of Steve Rogers. Everybody says that.
He is the best character in the game, arguably, right now.
He's always been from the start.
Oh, well, I don't know meta, but I know some things right now.
No, I'm kidding. People thought he was ass at first, but they are stupid and dumb. They are not smart like me.
They are stupid and incorrect. My takes are the only takes.
True. So true. God damn it. You're so right.
Yeah, but those are all my thoughts on Sakamoto Days. I thought this was a really good chapter. Not really good chapter. I gotta stop saying really good chapter. There's only one really good chapter.
Really
good
chapter.
But this is a pretty good chapter. We gotta have tiers. Maybe we gotta have tier system.
I thought about that.
The RGC is the top. A really good chapter of the week. And then we have a pretty good chapter, which is our second place. The third place is what?
I thought that we can make an effort to rank them ourselves. You know,
We only cover
some
4
type of
series at a
voting
time these
system.
days, so
Yeah, it would just be up. Yeah, you know, like that. Just would for. Yeah. Anyway.
all right. Well, I guess that's it for
Sakamoto
Sakamoto
Days.
Days. Let's move onward.
Oh
Shit.
Kagurabachi. And with that, I'm gonna pass this one over to Jerish.
BRB.
Thanks, Chris. This is Kagurabachi, also known as Kags on New Jump City. Chapter number 78, Switch. Last week, Samura fully unleashed his OP stupid Phoenix powers that essentially make him immortal, I guess. I mean, he got stabbed several times with real life swords all through his body and came back from it more powerful to boot. And then he pulled up to Chihiro and Hirohiko and he sunned the shit out of Hirohiko. It was bad.
was
It was
embarrassing.
really bad. Yeah. He got obliterated. Chihiro wasn't even focused on Hirohiko because Samura was just such a threat. But yeah, Hirohiko has his arm removed, his enchanted blade seized by Samura, and he turns to Chihiro. And that leads us to this week.
Oh, you
This
also
week's
missed the part
chapter.
where Hirohiko tried to destroy the building, but then Samura healed it with his super cool Phoenix powers. He healed the building.
Is that what happened?
Mm-hmm.
Am I stupid?
No, what?
For like, who knew? Who knew? Who
Oh,
knew?
what?
Right? Like,
Who knew what?
for those puzzled, Chris and I have a gentleman's bet.
The wrong
Otherwise-
burgundy bet.
Yeah, more formerly known on New Jump City as the wrong burgundy bet. And,
No, what? Formerly?
we're back
What?
to the old well of
What?
Well,
What do you mean formally?
I said formally.
Okay, I thought you said formerly.
Formally.
Okay. I was about to say, what are you trying to do here?
Formally called. Yeah, like the actual the
Formally.
official. I could have said officially named. I guess that would have been.
No, I
Anyway,
just misheard you.
Yeah, basically, it's Will Samura die by the end of this arc? I say he will. Chris says he won't. And it's looking bad for me. It's looking really, really bad. Not gonna lie, but we'll see.
Hey, you never know. This could be a Knicks moment where you're down like 20, and then all of a sudden you're coming back up.
If I'm being honest, if this karma or energy thing is real, I don't want any of that shit to come my way. I want to send it all to the Knicks. I don't need any love.
Yo,
I
you know what it is?
He's my life.
You know what did happen? That moment, you were up like 5 points when Samura got stabbed a bunch of times that first time. And then I pulled up with
that was a 12-0 run. I was like, ooh.
I was sweating, dude. I was like, and then I started to rain threes, and all of a sudden, when Samura said, when Samura started healing, it was game 3.
Yeah. Went on an 18, 16 and nothing run or something like that.
Yeah.
That's how I felt in real life. I thought, why should it happen in front of me in the same chapter? The same
Right?
chapter.
In the same couple pages.
I ended up being down.
I was
By
sweating.
the end of the quarter,
I was sweating.
yeah. Oh my god. Yeah, but you feel pretty good now.
What a crazy moment. I feel alive is what I feel. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like the bet adds extra suspense
For real.
to the series. Should make more wrong burgundy bets with the other ones.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right. Anyways, back to this week's chapter. Now that you guys understand there are serious stakes involved now. Hirohiko, one of my personal heroes for the bet, is down and out, super duper bad. I mean, he lost his arm, he lost his enchanted blade, and he also lost his pride. He's crying and immobilized. And Samura says, "Now then," and turns his back. It turns towards Chihiro, like I said before. Chihiro realizes, like, damn, like he still isn't even winning. What the fuck?
This fucking guy still got
And
it.
then he thinks to himself,
Yo,
"Nah."
he's literally like, he's 40.
Like, after all that,
He's doing all this at 40.
All
right, he
I'm
said
back.
he completely nullified Hirohiko's all-out move, and then plus he's been sustaining Owl throughout Japan for days, and despite all of that, he's still good. And then he's like, "Nah, wait, that can't be it. You know, he can regenerate, but you can't resurrect the dead. I mean, I guess you can't make something out of nothing. It consumes tremendous energy. If you keep getting wounded and relying on constant regeneration, you'll deplete your spirit energy. Right. You know, you'll run out of your energy source or whatever, right? And then you'll be on a cooldown. So anyway,
Oh shit.
Chihiro says in theory. Because for all we know, it could just be unlimited power. Because at the end of the day, he thinks that Samura is pretty much he's probably just a lot stronger than in the past from when they measured his abilities before. So Samura says first thing is to finish this guy, and he looks fucking wicked right now.
Yeah.
And then the guy he's talking about is the fucking one of the sorcerer
Kugiri.
samurais that was with Hirohito. Who?
Kugiri.
Kugiri. Thank
Kugiri.
you. That fought the hero before. Yeah, Kugiri. Samura I guess detects him in the room right next to him because I guess he's gonna try a sneak attack. Tries to parry Samura's sword. He slices right through that shit, and then he uses a special move called Twilight Wave, which allows him to project out any stored heat he has in his body, and he hasn't used it for the past 7 months. So it was this massive fucking cannon, actually really awesome.
Yeah.
And he used that to basically get away from the fight. Yeah, fucking awesome. He used his ult. Anyway, Kugiri's like, yo, you good, Hirohiko? and they friend, I forgot the sorcerer's name already. She's like, what do you think? And
he's crying right now.
Yeah, it's like, they got and then Kugiri's like, damn, they got the Kumaeri too. This was like complete L. But Hirohiko's lucky he survived. And he says now that our pact of Samura is finished, he has 0 cards to play. And then he notices that there's snow in the sky. And they're like, yo, could it be because Owl was covering the sky for so long? We didn't notice that it was snowing or something like that. He's like, I can't believe. I guess he made it snow because of Owl covering up the sky. That's crazy. After releasing it. The other source is like, you're not thirsting for a swords fight with him, right? He's like, hell no. Hirohiko is totally down and out. He's like, he remembers Chihiro looking at him. He's like, those eyes. He feels nothing for me, not even hatred.
Bro said, kill me.
Biggest. He said, kill me. Those eyes.
Get up, Hirohiko. Damn.
Yeah, man. I mean, skirt down, first of all.
Come on,
Second
dude.
of all, you're alive, right? Come on. You came back before. You lost both your arms before.
Yeah, this is a spiritual beatdown.
Yeah, so anyway, we cut to Chihiro and Samura. And he's like, Samura asks, why did you wield the enchanted blade again? And he's like, I learned about everything, man. The malediction and the swordmaster's crime. Samura's like, that bastard Shiba. That nigga told. I was like, was he not supposed to? Come on. Samura tries to kind of I guess explain the situation. Nah, listen, your dad was a hero. It was just that sword bearer that was responsible. And Jiro's like, so I'm told. Mr. Shiba said the same thing. And Samura's like, he still isn't swallowing it.
Hey, yo, pause.
I guess I was like, I don't know about that.
It's a little crazy,
Samura. He's still he's not just accepting that version of the situation. He has, his own thoughts. It's I guess because he was trying to reason with him to just give up on the fight, undraw your sword so I don't have to fucking murder you. And he's like, well, if you know about the malediction, we can cut to the chase. The sword master can't be allowed to live. And Cheryl's like, so you're willing to kill all the sword bearers, including yourself? And he said, yes.
Yeah. Was that not
I
clear?
had to stop the malediction, and I must save my daughter. Chihiro. He said, if you stand in my way, I'll cut you down again. What Iori needs, but Chihiro says what Iori needs for her future is you. He's like, that's why I picked up the sword again. You know, I wanted to stop you. I guess presumably so he can actually be in his daughter's life. That's not good for the agenda. Anyway, we cut to Tokyo, where the head sorcerer of the Kumanabi,
shit.
Hishaku,
Yes.
yeah, the top Hishaku sorcerer Yura, says, "Oh, so shall we fight?" And one of them uses like this pine tree spell, and they start to break into the Kumanabi headquarters, exactly on top of where the sword bearer is being held. As a matter of fact, mind you, not close to them, because they're really like the Kumanabi headquarters is already underground, and then he's under that shit. So he's like 3 levels under like solid concrete. The leaders at the Kumanabi headquarters all chatting, and they're like, look, just let them in. We're not gonna fight them on the surface. We don't want to get the regular people involved. We'll just see what's good with them. They definitely realize that Samura is like preoccupied in fighting, but they don't understand like why the Hishaku are making this attack now, because they figured that they would use Samura, if anything, to like help and fight. So Mini Masumi's grandfather, not confirmed, but that's what I'm going with. He's definitely thinking like, man, like this is weird. So it's something to pay attention to. So they announced over the speakers that the Hishaku had breached the headquarters, and all one of the Hishaku, I'm sorry, one of the Kumanabi officers are like, sorry, I know you're just waking up, but as you can see, it's an emergency. Can you move? And we see our boy Hikari, right?
Akari.
Yeah, Hikari up and saying, at your service, sir. The teleporting man is up and ready. Nice. Okay. And that was Kags. Brian, what were your thoughts?
RGC.
Certified RGC. Certified RGC. Certified RGC.
All right, I'm gonna try not to fucking glaze it the same way I do every fucking week. This chapter felt like it had so much packed into it. I don't know if every chapter is usually like 19 pages.
Yeah.
But this one felt longer. This felt like a longer chapter. There was a lot going on. There was a lot of information packed in. Kuguri is easily probably like one of my favorite characters now. He's just so fucking cool. His sword fighting skills are cool. His sorcerer technique, whatever it's called in this series, is really cool. I'm a big fan. And the dude he's hella competent. So I'm a fan of his character. I'm really excited to see how this raid on the Kamunabi headquarters goes. I'm glad we get to see, what's this guy's name? The guy with the Sasuke cut.
I don't remember his name actually.
But he's been around since the beginning, and he's supposed to be like a really big fucking deal. So to be able to see him,
the suit.
Yeah, to be able to see him in action is going to be a fucking treat, because I think he's at the same level as Shiba.
I think
if I'm not mistaken. No, not Hiyuki is on swordbearer duty right now, so she's not there. Her and Shiba aren't going to be in this raid fight. But man, there's so much going on. This kind of has like One Piece vibes, where it's like the rest of the world is a character in the story. Being able to expand, have such a big cast of characters and have things going on in different places. Man, I didn't know that this series had it in it. Honestly, I thought it was mainly going to be like a very focused story on what's his name, Chihiro. But this is a pretty like very welcomed surprise for me. I'm really excited to see how he kind of juggles these together and keeps the story going cohesively, because it looks like the meat of the story and the buildup for Chihiro versus Samura has already been done. They already did all the flashbacks they needed there, and now they can just have shit like hit the fan in multiple places. I really hope he keeps following what's going on in the Kamunabi headquarters. I think we will see it just because what's his name is there? Hakuri?
Hakuri, I don't remember.
I think it's Hakuri.
But it is among the Hakuri or Hakuri.
Yeah. And yeah, so yeah, that was Kagurabachi, man. Fucking great series. Get on it.
Yeah, I thought this was pretty good chapter. This was my second place, and Kuguri is also becoming a favorite of mine. I thought he was great when he was first introduced, which is cool because when he was first introduced, I at first thought he was going to be kind of a father-esque character, but I'm glad that he's like kind of coming into his own. Dude, Hirohiko is fucked up, but I'm glad he didn't die. I feel like he's gonna come back more vicious than ever. He has to, because this was a generational loss.
Yeah.
Frankly, we didn't do it last week, but I'm down to give him a retroactive ass whooping of the week.
Yeah.
Because this is just unacceptable what they did to Hirohiko.
Yeah, he is gone, man. He's out of it. He ain't gonna be fighting for a long time.
For real.
He definitely won't be killing Samura. Tell you that.
Yeah, it's cool to see Samura just emerge as the LeBron of the Kagurabachi universe. Like, they got them doing diatribes of how much he's improved his game in 18 years. Chihiro's practically like, he's doing all this at 40. He's doing it at 40 years old.
Oh, I don't love it.
I'm enjoying this a lot. I mean, it's hard to not glaze Kagurabachi. It's a great series. It's very enjoyable. I hate having not one nitpick really. I hate, but I mean, I gotta be honest. I'm not gonna just talk shit just for the sake of it. Kagurabachi is a very fun series to read, and it's so early in its run too, that it's captured just like such a great sense of story and depth and all that stuff. So I don't know. I don't know how this is gonna go with the invasion. I don't know how he's gonna structure this part of the arc, because I feel like going back and forth between Chihiro's fight with Samura and the battle at the Kamunabi is going to be a little bit jarring. But I guess it depends on how he paces it. I can't imagine that they won't show at least a little bit of this battle. And it'll be cool to see the Kamunabi do stuff. Because I would hate for them to be the continual good guys who sit cockily, waiting for the bad guys to attack. Even a senior Masumi man is like, Huh. That's weird. The main villains are just attacking us.
Oh well, I guess we'll figure it out.
Strange.
Let them in. We won't fight them on the surface.
Oh, the series antagonists are breaking into our headquarters? That's strange. Why would they do that?
I gotta say, I'm really pissed off that Sheba is not present for this because he gets away again from us not being able to see him seriously fight. Once again, he gets away with it.
I feel like we'll never get to see Sheba fight seriously.
The one time we had a chance, they off-screened it, and it was when he was fighting the Sazanami people.
Yeah, but, I mean, Brian, I think they're just gonna just keep baiting you with Sheba until the end of the series.
Just, I want to see what he can do.
He's gonna be like secretly the strongest, like regular sorcerer there is.
I mean, that's kind of how they talk about him. Honestly, they're kind of like, "Yo, this motherfucker's a dog. He got that dog in him. You don't want to fuck with him."
They're gonna be like, so he's activated, huh? Sheba, one of the very first Kamunabi members.
Literally every time he appears and like one of the villains are there, they're like, "Ah, shit, we can't do anything now that he's here."
It's a lot of those.
Yeah.
And he's gonna use that technique against us, and we don't want to get hit by that, so we're gonna leave.
Just a man of ambiguous strength and aura. But I am excited for what's to come in Kagurabachi. Josh, what did you think about the chapter?
This was my RGC already.
Hey.
Certified RGC. Certified RGC. Certified RGC.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell. I'm petty as hell. I'm gonna tell you my favorite part about this whole chapter. There was a moment when Chihiro was explaining, like it was at the very beginning, when he was like, "Yo, there has to be a limit to all of this power. There's no fucking way he's a lordly god like this. I won't accept that. He's not chosen. You know what I'm saying? He's one of those. He's him, but he's not chosen."
You know what's funny,
Okay.
Josh? He did say all that. He's like, there's got to be a limit. But then, in theory, but this guy has just been elite.
No,
This guy has been doing shit
No.
I'd never even heard of.
he's gonna run out of juice. You know, he might just disappear when he finishes fighting. He might just be like, "Okay, well, I burned out my spirit energy a long time ago, and I've just been running on fumes. Take care of my daughter."
You think he's just
Chihiro.
going to die?
Fade. He's gonna fade.
Don't do that. That's going to be the Knicks coming back and winning with 1 point by 1 point in my life.
Oh my god, yeah, that's the last minute shot.
Yeah, literally.
That's the crossover. That's the crossover on tops on against the Pistons.
Literally exactly that. That he just starts to fade in the middle of the fight, and he's like, "I can't. I've reached my limit."
And you're just like, what? What? You're hoping it's metaphorically
For real.
speaking?
I hope he just
Like,
left.
do you mean this? Like, are you exaggerating?
Are
Are you
you-
saying you need to rest now?
Yeah, you're just leaving the fight.
You have no more spirit energy? Like, you can't use the sword anymore?
Because that's okay. You could go. You could just go rest.
Yeah. That's fine.
Go rest.
We'll
Come back
see.
next arc.
Oh, boy.
Man, now you got me nervous, honestly. With the reminder that there's a ceiling to be hit.
Yeah, this nigga canceled out another sword's ability too. I mean, he was the strongest. He was the strongest swordsman, and there's a huge possibility he's being fueled by the love for his daughter. You know,
Just make it out of this arc. I won't bet on your life again. Just make it out of this arc. I can't get away with it a third time. Could I?
You best believe if I lose, I'm trying to go for that third time. I'm gonna finally go.
You won't get me
you
with
gonna
it.
have a big boy decision to make. You're gonna have to.
And I'm going to make the small boy decision. I'm not taking up the third bet.
You know, honestly, that's actually the big man decision. The small boy decision would be to still take the bet out of pride. That's what's real.
I can't do it.
I mean, shit. What else is there to say? I mean, Samura is about. If they're really about to fight, it looks like there's about to be some talk no jutsu, but and as they cut straight over to this headquarters fight, I don't know what does this mean. Like, if there's a cut, if they don't continue fighting, and they have this headquarters situation, what does that mean?
What does that mean?
What do you mean?
Does it mean I was wrong because we're technically switching?
What does that
arcs?
mean?
No, I mean, I think they were going to focus on Chihiro. If they had to choose between the two, it would probably be the focus on Chihiro, and we'd probably see an after effects of what happened in the Kamunabi headquarters. But it's possible they show both. I think they're.
Yeah,
I think the
that's
higher
true.
possibility
That is
is
true.
they show both.
Yeah, I think just either way though, it'd be fair to say that if they don't finish their fight, or if it looks like they are still gonna fight or whatever, then we'll wait until that's resolved.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, those are my thoughts. I'm ready to move on.
Hell yeah. Kagurabachi's great.
Hell yeah.
You peeped the guy on the flying carpet with the machine on his head?
Yeah.
Did you notice that it was in a flying carpet?
I did not know he was on a flying
It's
carpet.
not a carpet, it's a
Yeah.
pillow.
Sick.
It's a throw pillow, basically. I don't think it's a carpet.
I can show you the world. Shining,
you looking at me
shimmering,
like
splendid.
It's a giant pillow. It's a cushion.
Tell
not a
me,
pillow, it's a cushion.
Kamunabi.
Yeah,
We were both wrong.
it's a cushion. I think I said cushion, first of all.
No, you said pillow.
I said pillow, but then I also said it's a cushion. You said it's a carpet.
No, I don't remember that. Do you remember that, Brian?
I wish we could roll back the tape.
You will be able to later. And then you can
No
put
comment.
a little edit. Josh was wrong. On
You
the
want to
thing.
place the wrong burgundy bet on the fact that I never said cushion?
No, it's not that serious.
He said throw pillow.
You said throw
I did
pillow,
say
bro.
throw pillow.
You didn't say cushion after.
Oh, I'll have to check.
La da 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 da.
The song's not
Ready to
warranted,
move on?
Brian. It's not a carpet. But yeah, let us move on.
That was shiest.
Dandadan.
Dance.
Dance and stance. Then I pass this one over to Brian.
Damn. Alrighty then. Dandadan, chapter 194. We pick up where we left off. Well, actually, we missed a week of Dandadan.
We did indeed.
Because we were too busy playing pretend characters.
Rolling dice.
But essentially, last week their Gigi's ops pulled up on them while they're in the airplane, and the whole alien thing happened where it kind of transported them to like a different kind of dimension thing. So there's no passengers on the plane aside from the Ayase squad and their ops. So they just started fighting, and they confronted them, and everybody stanced up. Everybody got their fucking dukes up. Like they got their hands in ready to fucking scrap.
Check out this lady's pose in the first page. Look at her. I don't even know how she's like this.
Yeah, she's like her torso is perfectly like perpendicular with the floor, and her legs are like stationed on top of two seats. And then her arms are like up and down.
I can't even. I don't. Josh is gonna try it. Oh. No, dude, you're still not there.
No, you gotta do a little more, you gotta get some more twist on there.
You gotta twist
get some
on
more
your torso, bro.
Yeah, you gotta get more.
I have work tomorrow.
You gotta get more. You gotta get more twist, and you gotta be like way leaned forward.
Man.
Your arm has to be above your head, and then the other arm has to be like right here. So that is
but
hard
they start
to do.
fighting. Vamola just fucking straight up punts a dude across the fucking plane. Granny literally fucking elbows a dude in the fucking face. And this guy just comes over and just punches the shit out of a fucking teenager. It's honestly insane. And what's the name of this guy again? I forget.
Zuma
blind grabs a guy. And since he's blind, he literally can't dodge the attack that's coming to him, and he just takes a punch straight to the face. And his homie comes in to try to help him, but he gets interrupted by another one of those guys. And as this guy's kind of throwing up another punch, Zuma grabs onto the guy's head and just punches him back into the other side of the plane. And then the other guy who was fighting Zuma's friend comes over to try to beat the shit out of Zuma, and then he grabs him by the face and headbutts him right in his nose. And then we cut to Gigi, who's kind of starting to get an evil eye flare up here. And as they're kind of like accosting him and kind of screaming at him, he punches this dude across the entire plane as well, forcing the older lady to get out of her fucking crazy ass position. And Gigi's trying to keep the evil eye from like getting released. And he's trying to like convince him to like keep the promise that he made with Okarun. To which the old lady is like, "Are you kidding? You're still holding on to that little brat? I thought you would have exercised him ages ago." And she jumps in and throws a kick, and then she uses a technique called Anaconda, which is like, I guess, a two-pronged punch.
Throw a punch.
But yeah, it's like Aoki's frog punch from Hajime no Ippo. But as she's kind of throwing it, Granny starts shooting off a bunch of attacks that forces her to be on the defensive. And she's like, "Why you? Who the hell are you? Damn it!" And Granny goes, "Just an old lady. Jin, you get back." And we see that Ayase is kind of helping out by using her powers to shoot briefcases at these guys. And as the fight continues, an engine explodes on the plane, causing everybody to kind of be shook from within it as it's starting to drop in altitude. And they look outside the window and they see the sky is literally filled with sharks, ears and noses and mouths. In a beautiful, absolutely beautiful 2-page spread, by the way.
Yeah, this is super well drawn and incredibly weird.
The fuck?
And it looks like kind of a tornado too, off in the distance as well. But goddamn, this is honestly one of the most beautiful panels I've seen in manga, and it's one of the most ridiculous ones as well. Like, I would hang this on my wall.
This is abstract art.
What the fuck is going on?
That is Dandadan, and we will get into our thoughts. Chris, what are your thoughts?
I had a lot of fun with this chapter. I almost didn't remember these guys. I know they're from like the Evil Eye arc, but I didn't remember what their deal was. But it was cool to see them again because the way they're drawn is so fucking funny. Like all of them are heavily detailed and some of the most detailed and somewhat realistic looking characters in the series for no reason, just for the sake of the intensity of them. And as far as fight scenes go, it was just like a lot of fun, even though it was literally just boxing. Everybody's just like out here scrapping hand to hand. But yeah, I could not even begin to put my finger on what the fuck I'm looking at right now with this 2-page spread. This was it's really cool to look at, and I've periodically looked back at it ever since I seen it, just on a admiring art basis. But I cannot tell you what I'm looking at or what's going to happen next or what this means for the story. They might have been just transported to some weird ghost world. And yeah, it was nuts. This is crazy, but very fun. Dandadan, its greatest strength is to just be fun at all times. It is a very entertaining read, and this was no different for me. But that's all I got. It was a shark that hit the fucking engine, I just realized. So, crazy.
Was it a shark for sure?
I think so, because they ran into this area of sharks flying through the sky. It must have been the thing that hit the engine, because there's sharks everywhere in the sky.
Oh, you didn't see it specifically.
You didn't see it, but it has to have been.
Yeah, it has to have been. Or perhaps somebody's facial.
Maybe one of this fucking living tornado. Maybe the tornado, all these limbs belong to the tornado. This is a living tornado with a mouth and a nose and ears, but all of the parts of the tornado's face spin around a lot because it's a tornado.
Yeah, and it makes a face because they're in. Yeah, I know what you mean.
And it's just picking up every shark in the fucking 500-mile radius, I guess.
How many sharks? I feel like there's not this many sharks in the world. How could there be this many? This feels like too many sharks for this planet. But
maybe these sharks are from out of this world.
How many sharks are there in this world that we can account
Hey Siri,
more than
how many sharks are there in the world?
Here's an answer from azanimals.com.
Estimates show that there are as many as 1 billion sharks.
Oh my God. Okay, I guess I was wrong. 1 billion seems like a lot.
Yeah, that's a little excessive.
I don't like it. I don't like there are 1 billion sharks out there.
Wow.
But yeah, those are all my thoughts.
I think like you're more likely to get hit by lightning than get bit by a shark.
I don't know. There are a billion sharks. They're not a billion lightning bolts.
Hey Siri,
They don't usually attack humans.
how is it
Till
as
they meet
like
me.
wait, oh my God, how do I ask this question?
I can use chat.
Shut up. Never mind.
Why don't you Google it like our ancestors used to?
No, but I like it when they read it to me.
I don't like.
I like it when they say the words.
What were you gonna ask?
Are you more likely to get hit by a lightning bolt than get hit by a shark? Okay, there you go. Hey Siri, are you more likely to get hit by a lightning bolt than get hit by a shark?
Here's an answer from AccuWeather.com.
While many fear shark attacks, statistics show that the odds of being struck by lightning are much higher, with a chance of 1 in
Much
500 million compared to a 1 in 3.75 million odds of a shark attack. So there you have
I
it.
guess so.
You're more likely to get hit by lightning.
I guess so. Anyway, Josh, what did you think about this chapter?
This was random as hell.
Damn right.
I don't know what to say. It's a nice chapter. You know, the little Dandadan feels so slice of life sometimes. You know, and then they just abruptly insert a whole bunch of action and shit. It's a dynamic series. But I'm really interested in the evil eye being explored again and him being out, because obviously that situation hasn't been resolved and there could be more development there. But the kid is pretty strong on his own too. If he can like combine the powers together, he'll be a fucking problem. Honestly, he'll basically be Sentry. And I said Sentry because I just seen Thunderbolt.
No.
Anyway, like you mentioned, I really enjoyed the super detailed faces of the murderers. I was trying to kill those kids.
He said, "Fuck them
They
kids."
look really funny. Yeah, he really. I mean, I'm sending out some pictures right now, but like he really pulled up to you know, a young high schooler and started boxing him. And he said, "Come on, man, you're young. You got more in you." That shit was crazy. It was psycho.
It's like your uncle
Yeah,
play
he's like,
fighting
yeah.
with you. You know.
Yes, that's exactly what it's like. He had one facial expression of like where he wasn't in sheer excitement when he was surprised by the blind kid grabbing him. Which, by the way, I keep forgetting that he's like going blind. He can't see shit. He got punched in his face. Then the guy kneed him in his face, and he just got up like nothing. The umbrella kid that's blind.
Yeah, Zuma.
Yeah, that was impressive, but I don't know. I don't got much else to say. Enjoyable chapter. I hope. I think this is a little inappropriate because there's been a lot of airplane accidents. No, I'm not really saying it's inappropriate, but damn.
Yeah, it's not. It's not
Yeesh.
great timing for what's been going on.
Yeah, not the best.
You think he
time.
was
There we go.
inspired by
That's
that?
I hope not.
He's like, man, there's been a lot of planes going down. What if it was because of sharks flying in the air? I would also hope he would not be taking inspiration from genuine tragedies that are currently happening right now.
Yeah, that'd be kind of whack.
Yeah. But anyway, who's to say? So are we good with Dandadan? Any rebuttals or anything?
No, that's all for me.
Hell yeah, then let's wrap this one. That was Dandadan, and that has been our show. Thank you guys so much for listening. As per usual, you can find me at the Chris Espinal on Twitter and Instagram. Josh is at JDCole_37 on Instagram. Brian is at b.esp on Twitter and Instagram. You can catch him where he's streaming at It's Punchline on Twitch whenever he feels like streaming, I guess. Email the show at newjumpcitypod@gmail.com with any questions, suggestions, anything you guys want us to talk about, and we will talk about it on the pre-show chat show that we usually do. We did one this week. We talked about Thunderbolts. We talked about the Knicks. We talked about food a lot. We got a lot of food-centric questions from our guy Mike, so check it out. Very excited. That's it, I suppose. Subscribe to us, obviously. Please subscribe to the show if you enjoyed it. We're on YouTube. We're on Spotify. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on any podcasting platform you could think of. And we've been there for years. So check out our backlog before it all gets removed because we used songs back in the day. Anyway, all right. Good night, everybody. We'll see you guys next week. Stay safe, New Jump citizens.
Peace. Knicks in 5.
Knicks in 5.
Pacers just won. God damn it.
Knicks in 5, though.